Okay, today we are going to talk about absolute value functions. So here we're going to graph an absolute value equation. Now, a lot of times if you are not sure where to start when it comes to graphing, if you've never seen a certain function before, then a good rule of thumb is to start with these 5 numbers, -2, -1, 0, 1, and 2. If you plot those 5 coordinate points, you should have a good idea, not always, but for the most part, a good idea of what the function is going to look like. Now, you have your graphing calculator, so you can use that, and then the table by hitting second graph to get to your table, if you'd like to use that. Here, though, we're going to go ahead and do this by hand. So when x is -2, meaning I'm going to replace x with -2. Remember, absolute value is talking about distance, so it can't be negative. So when I put a -2 in here, and I take the absolute value of that -2, it becomes a +2. So really the point I'm going to plot is going to be -2, 2. Same thing when I put a -1 in here. The absolute value of -1 is +1. Absolute value of 0 is 0. Now the absolute value of 1 is not -1. We don't always just take the opposite. Absolute value of 1, because 1's already positive, it's going to stay positive. Absolute value of 2 is going to be 2. Now, these aren't the only numbers you could have chosen. We could have chosen -5, which would have given us a +5. We could have chosen a +7, which would have still stayed +7. But as we go and plot these points, let's see what kind of shape we're going to get. So -2, 2, we're going to have a point here. -1, 1, 0, 0, 1, 1, 2, 2. And I told you that, hey, if we did -5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, we would get +5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Notice how this still falls in that same line. Or 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. No matter what numbers we chose, we should fall in this same line. So an absolute value function actually looks like a V shape. Comes to a point, and it goes on forever in both directions. So absolute value function is going to be a V-shaped graph. Next, what we're going to do is we're going to lift this off the board and we're going to shift it. We're going to move it left and right, and we're going to move it up and down. And we're going to do it in such a way that we shouldn't have to make a table anymore. We're going to do it in such a way where we can look at our function, our equation, and we're going to know, does it go up, down, left, right? So that's what's coming next.